Welcome to the Living Rising Waters exposition. Let's give you a little tour of what's going on around here. All of our guests, a sign with wine, the change has come. Oh, yes, I go to the movies, I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me, go ahead, it's been a long time coming, but I know it. Oh, yes, it will. And I go by. I ask him to help me, but he just winds up not me. Man, down on my knees. There were times that I thought I wouldn't last for long. I see I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know the change won't come. Oh, yes, it will. Yeah. They got chance happening right here. K20 knows about 𝕼𝕚𝕚𝕫𝕒𝕚 headquarters. We here with Tracy. Absolutely. Now, again, come on that side. It's been a long time coming, but I know the change is coming. Oh, yes, we have waded in the waters. We have seen the light. We have been divine in our teachings, guided by the sunlight. We are here today to usher in the new wave of the new day. It's been a long time coming, but I know the change is here. Those who are not here, they're not present with us. They will be, and they are in spirit with us here in this space now, and we welcome them. If there's a loved one that you have lost through the storm, we ask you to speak their name into this existence. A loved one that may not be here with us right now, but however, it was because of them that you survived the storm. It was a house that you lived in. It was somebody's church that you went to. It was someone giving you food off the street, because anywhere we went, we had the most giving times that we actually received more than we actually had to give. This is how we pay it forward now. So I'm going to call out the women who have made it easy for me during the storm of our life. And that's Miss 𝕼𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚. Bonnie Ashe. Are there any other names that you wish to call into the space? My voice, Craig. Yes. Ashe. Dr. Thomas Craig. Ashe. James. Ashe. Eva Green. Ashe. James. Ashe. Keller. Ashe. Where's Keller? Ashe. Give thanks for those things, as I can feel in my chest right now, the spirit of life that vibrates through the strings, through your tongue, through your signature, your breath, your spiritual identifier, speaking their names into the space. We give thanks for you. We give thanks for you. For every church member that I never met, for every deposit that we did receive, whether it was American Red Cross, SNAP benefits that had us to get to our next level of our destination, so that we can be standing here to tell our stories, not just of survival, It's certified. We didn't just survive because we're still living, and we're living in this space. And the images that you'll see today tells the story. A story guided by Black American music, all its traditional jazz and everything above it, a gumbo pot that starts up to make a gorilla song and dance. For everything that was on the chitlin circuit, we give thanks. We give thanks for the man we're going to celebrate today. Because of his gifts and his portraits, we're able to see how far we've come. And then we get to see how much further we're going to go. It's been a long time coming, but I know that's gonna come. I change. I can say it's here. I want you to enjoy the space. We ask you, how Nola by nature are you? What is your Nola by nature experience? What made you come to New Orleans? Were you born in those one earth in Charity Hospital? Did you know someone who lived in St. Bernard Housing Authority? Did you know someone who was in the convention center? Did you know someone who was trapped in a Superdome? Did you know someone who was trapped in their house waiting for someone to swim by? We give thanks for everyone in their giving and their living, that it was not in vain, that it was for the now time, which is the right time. The now time is the right time. The now time is the right time. The now time is the right time, so that we can do better. We must do better. That's the charge that Nola gave us, to be better, to do better, and be better people. The same giving that we receive from strangers. When you see someone on the street who may not have recovered from that, read a story. If you usher in a word, a thought of achievement and prayer, that's better than any dollar amount that you could ever spend or give to them. Because your word carries an 𝕼𝕕𝕚𝕚𝕚. Your word carries and we give thanks. Give thanks. Let us take a moment, close our eyes, fill the space. Know that we were birthed through waters, many waters, the salt waters of our mother's womb. Many who swam through the flooded waters. We give breath for you. We give breath for you. The water carries oxygen. The water remembers us. Those beautiful, nested waters are in our blood. We give thanks. That you can breathe now. You're no longer trapped under the waters. You can breathe now. 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 Take in your breath and blow it out with force. You can breathe now. You can breathe now. This is your end. I see. The change has come. Give it up for Christian. Yes. Yes. The word that we use in your language, we say 𝕼𝕚, which means to give our respect and our reverence. So 𝕼𝕚 to all the ancestors, 𝕼𝕚 to the owner and creator of this day, 𝕼𝕚 to all the angels in the place surrounding us, make the way for us to be here in this space, a new space, rebuilt space. It's 𝕼𝕚, all our existence, 𝕼𝕚 to all the spirits. Give thanks. I say. Now I'm gonna ask the man of time to come up to welcome you to the space. His face, his eye, his perfect eye. Such a perfect The hot shot himself. We gonna speak about everybody. On three, we gonna say hot shot. 1, 2, 3. Hot shot.
How y'all doing today? Great. My name is Richard Keller. I'm a photographer of these pictures. I've been shooting now for over 35 years. And through my eyes, through the lens eyes, I've seen the change, the good, the bad, and the ugly of situations, people, and places. I left church that Sunday morning thinking that it was going to be just another windstorm and people would just, come back and nothing would happen. So I did what most people do in the city of New Orleans. We went home, we cooked everything in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
We drew water, we had water, I had everything I thought that we was going to need. So we packed everything up, left my house, went to my sister-in-law's house, which was located in the St. Bernard housing project. She lived on the second floor. And we figured that it was just going to be a windy rainstorm. And, we know the lights was going to be altered, so we cooked everything. We stayed there one way or another. But later on that morning, or the following, that Monday morning, I heard people screaming and hollering. See the water. So I grabbed my camera, which I looked outside and I seen the wind blowing one way or another. So I started taking pictures of the trees, went back and forth, and all of a sudden, there was the water. It just started rising. People were screaming, people were hollering. They said, well, the lights is out now, what we're going to do, So I sat back, I looked around and I noticed that the house I was in, I had 3 grown women and kids. I'm the only person who could swim. So, that played a lot on my mind. And I thought about it. I said, well, it shouldn't be that bad. It's not going to rise that much. But as I continued taking pictures, I seen the kids taking boats and flotation devices and floating in the water. I said, this is going to be bad. And a little bit longer, I started hearing vehicles, especially mine. The horn started blowing back and forth because the water was getting to the electrical system. And I said, wow, this is not going to be good at all. I said, I haven't had the truck. I just put brand new tires on it. I think I had it maybe 2-3 weeks. I said, well, good thing I got insurance. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was the water still was rising. And I noticed that people were no longer wading in water. They were swimming. And I looked around and said, well, I know there's only one way we're going to get out of here. So maybe my big mind, because all the adults had wet. So I drove off the second floor balcony and started swimming. I swam out to Paris Avenue. And I said, well, I can walk a little bit now. So I walked, going back toward my house, got to, I want to say I-10, whatever, but other than 610 and Gentilly, I can walk. I said, okay, so as soon as we got to the People's Canal and I crossed over where Dillard University is, time to swim again, nothing in the water. So I swam some more. And when I got to Mount Olivet Cemetery, I could walk again. I said, okay. So I'm turning down 𝕄𝕦𝕤𝕚𝕚𝕚, and I said, well, I'll walk to the house and see how bad it is. But I'm passing the Hebrew Rest Cemetery, no water. Got to the end of it, a block before my house. I got to swim again. I said, what's happening? And I'm in water now, it's up to my neck. I said, what? Look, so I swam to my post. I got on, swam straight to my post. Had water probably 3/4 of my leg, I said, well, it's not going to be that bad. So I opened the door. My dog, he was looking at me. He was sitting on the porch. you're sitting on the sofa looking at me. Well, what you gonna do, Chief? I said, well, to myself, one thing I can do, I grab this bag of food, I bust it, put it on the table. I said, you can get to it. What I mean the table, I mean like a little end table in the house, because I figured the water wasn't gonna get that high, you know. And me and my 𝕼𝕚𝕚𝕚, I said, well, I'm hurrying to take a little quick shower, which I did. Put on brand new clothes, those shorts, matching shirt and everything.
Looking fresh.
And I got
Yeah, that's your clothes right there.
I got to the post again. I said, I'm about to get wet again. So I said, well, all right then. So I left the door cracked because I didn't want to, I said, okay. So I swam on back and I got a very good talking to about this young lady right here.
Yeah.
Point blank, don't you ever in life do this again. So I said, well, okay. So so we ate. We enjoyed our company one way or another, and then it came time for us to really leave. And I said, well, I know I'm the only one who can get out of here. I said, so we're gonna wait. I said, we're gonna wait. So all of a sudden, one of the airboats came by, and that's how we got a ride from Milton Gibson to 16. Now I'm still shooting. I hit my camera around my neck. I'm still shooting whatever I can see, And when we got to 610, I noticed we weren't up. 610 was like it was. They had people all over the place. They had women with babies, pouring water on the bed because it was hot. I said, well. So I decided I was going to walk down and see if somebody was out there that I knew one way or another. And lo and behold, it was a lot of people I knew. A lot of people knew me, But I kept quiet to a certain point, and then I just started shooting pictures again because I noticed that in my mindset, I said a lot of this is not going to be here. So I focused on the buildings that we just left. And when I started shooting back toward the project, you could see the silhouettes of buildings in the water. See people riding in boats, And it was a situation that really, they claim it wasn't man-made, but I still don't believe that because nobody took the time to really check the levees or anything prior to any storm. My knowledge, people were coming here, going to different meetings, one way or another, saying they were doing certain things, but certain things didn't happen. And by the water being rising as high as it did, it did overtopple the levees. They gave way. And that caused devastation throughout the city, And really the storm stretched 177 miles. So it wasn't just New Orleans that felt the pain. It was more than New Orleans that felt the pain. It was all the way from Homer, Louisiana, all the way to Mobile, Alabama. So people were devastated. And people that lived through Camille, those memories came back. Me as a child, I lived through Hurricane Betsy in 1965. Those memories really came back, and it changed my output on what I really thought about disaster and who's going to help. Because in reality, you're going to help yourself. If you want to survive, you got to do it. I mean, you could depend on people, which we did. I think St. Barnabas Church out there in Lafayette, Louisiana, because I remember when my wife and I, we had just came back from, believe it or not, Des Moines, Iowa, because we had to leave the Cajun Dome because of the hurricane region. So we came back to New Orleans, came back to Lafayette, and we said, well, we're going to check the mail, because I was really looking for something from the insurance companies, one way or another that I was dealing with. She said, well, no, don't you do that. You just go get in line. And something told me, well, I'm gonna go get in line. Because everybody, the minister and everyone saying, we can only help 3 families. She said, you stay in line. I'm not good. She said, you stay in line, I'm gonna go check the mail. So okay, I could stay in line. So I finally got the thing, I filled the paperwork out and everything. So that was a Monday. That Tuesday morning, I got a phone call on my cell phone. I said, what's this all about? He said, hello, how you doing? Mr. Keller? I said, yeah. He said, this 𝕼𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕚 church. You one of the family. Could I be back in New Orleans? We're going to open up Halloween, October 3rd. I said, okay. They said, well, I said, but I don't even have a place to stay. They said, don't you worry about that. So I said, okay. I said, what about my family? They said, well, nah, we said you, not your family. We said you. I said, okay, it's not a problem. But they were very instrumental in getting the power and everything hooked back up to my house and things of that nature. So the university was very, very helpful. But I must say, if it wasn't for 𝕼𝕚𝕚𝕚 Church and the love that they showed, and they didn't just show it to me, because they had what I call, they were feeding people every day. They went over Lafayette, the Cajun Dome. Those people, they did a tremendous job because basically it was new to them. I mean, I knew it's the Bayou country and things of that nature, but it was new to them that happened because they'd never been more or less taking in these many people with no places to stay. There's no strip or book that you're going to look at and tell you what you got to do one way or another. So everything was a lot of trial and error. But we came through it.
I see.
And to this day, I still continue to shoot. I mean, one of the things that I was glad to come back to find that the culture hadn't died.
I see.
That was the music.
Yeah.
The music was something that you listened to. I mean, I grew up with listening to drummers and people going home, things of that nature as a child. And everybody, I was told, because I took guitar lessons from Dr. Percy Humphrey. And I was told as long as you got an instrument and know how to play it, you probably won't stop. And these were people that were raising families, blowing a horn, playing guitar, tuba, violin, upright bass. But they made a living with this music. And that was one of the things that the water couldn't rise and take away.
I say.
The music and the people that played the music. Now, the people that played the music went all over, and it just so happened they brought this music to places that never seen it. I remember seeing a special with the 𝕼𝕝𝕚𝕚𝕚. They were in New York on a corner. One guy just started to trumpet, the other wolf. And everything opened up. People just started throwing money. Because they had never seen this, they had never heard this, but they heard of it. And when they found out the people from New Orleans, it was something a whole lot different. But I noticed every place I traveled during that time wanted me to stay. You're from New Orleans, why don't y'all stay? Why don't you stay? And I told them, can't leave. Can't leave this place. When you, as they say, you grow up with one of the pacifiers. And that's one of the little instruments they blow or they play, whatever it is to make music. That's what silences the kids, that's what put them to sleep, that's what wakes them up. And it's the culture. And it's even fitting for me to be in Nola by nature with my exhibit. They opened their doors up to me and told me, Mr. Keller, have that. I thank you. I'm one of you guys I can talk about. I think you can talk about yourself. I talked about the situation. I mean, you know, because the situation wasn't about me. It was about everybody. And one thing I can say about it, God is good.
All the time.
Thank everybody for coming out. You know, and please enjoy the libations we have, the food we did bring, and enjoy the music, the culture. Thank
you. Thank you. I'm ready to head back to Christian. I'm going to ask that you come with me and tell me about all these beautiful portraits. All right. That was only part one.
Please sign the this.
Accept your words that different things change is gonna come.
Yes.
Is that okay? When you're ready.
Okay, we got you. We got you. All right, we're gonna start at the beginning here. Yeah.
I was here for the dedication of this flag. It actually said that the Army Corps of Engineers, regardless of whatever happened to the levees or whatever breaches or anything that goes down, that you can never hold the Army Corps of Engineers financially for because of the Flood Act of 1928.
Wow.
So that's why the insurance things of that nature was going for a living West and nobody can really get
right. Awesome.
This was one of the first pictures I took just to see the water, how high it had rose before any help or anything else
Yeah.
to help anybody. It didn't do.
What do you call this one?
I call that one right. Water has risen.
Water has risen. Let's say. Because we have this beautifulness. How are you doing? Welcome to Know It by Nature. Are you enjoying the exhibition thus far?
It's just here.
Uh-huh.
All that stuff is whatever, you know. Everybody got a story, you know.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. I'm glad to get to hear this story.
Yeah. What's your name, man?
I'm Tracy, also known as 𝕼𝕝𝕚. So Tracy Elizabeth Music.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. I agree.
Okay. All right, man.
Welcome. And your name, sir?
Oh, Gaines.
Mr. Gaines.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. So let's take it up now.
All right, now the first thing you see up here at the top is when the water actually started rising. You see the effects of the wind on the trees. Dripping the water. Name of that is, it's coming.
It's coming.
Next picture you will see is basically when a toy is no longer a toy. It's a device for the way. Try to get help.
Good old fashioned saving all.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Oh, our people so good.
Yes.
And so creative.
I call this picture 𝕿𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚. It's actually, there's a boat. Survivors on it. Remember, I said survivors, not refugees.
I say
survivors.
survive.
Storm. using the means to get saved.
I say,
One helping another. All this is a reflection. Basically, it's a reflection of the housing development, which we call projects. You see the boat across the front. And the reason why that picture was taken so sharp, basically, I knew there was something that never sticking. This development no longer exists.
hopefully we've gotten that.
Yes. I was fortunate enough to buy that young man look back like that. I hollered at him and asked him what he was doing. He said he had something that he was going to bring something back to on this piece of flotation device. Actually, was a fence that fell out. This is a picture I took in the driveway where actually my truck was at one time in space. That was St. Raymond's School right there. And I seen people trying to move to it, thinking that they could use it as a place of refuge.
Right. Raise your eyes.
This is the people that was on 610 waiting to be rescued.
You truly are the hot side.
But it was very hot. But if you notice, people had life vests.
Yeah.
You know, because they didn't know if there was a time to swim to go get to find food. Or even just walk. Basic things. I mean, first of all, there were no restrooms on 610. So people had to take and use whatever coverings they could to hide kids or whatever, as they did use the restroom. And you're talking 3 days, 3 to 4 days out there. It was inhumane, is the word I can use. But people did what they had to do to survive.
We are surviving people. It's in our DNA. It's in our DNA. Let's come back to us. So, tell me, what does it feel like to have received your hot shot eye in this way?
I really can't get the recognition. After shooting 30 plus years, I mean, I started shooting in 89. The storm that happened in '05. So there's a lot of years before I had 5 that I had been out there shooting. I first started, I was fortunate enough to get the second line off the mission place. Back in the 50s. My shooting culture. That's it. Yes, I'm going. And to this day, I still think once we got like you see, young man, what I do for this culture, nobody else has attempted to do. And never see that. I see what this is. And make them sure that you reach place to do stable. It's recognition. How you do and what it is. And you telling the story. They should be able to do it. And actually, feel like it is. Yeah. And then the brain, I think Without the people.
We all need somebody. We all need somebody. We know just strong. Come see some. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. I don't know. I'm gonna take you. Outside because we can actually be on the avenue. Come on, y'all. Now it's hot and sunny out here.
Yes.
But we get to have this amazing conversation.
A single. Basically, this is the start of what I call the avenue of culture.
I say,
On this street here, as a young child, and I would come on this road with my parents, you would see the buggies or horse-drawn carriages making their way to go make a day's work. You know,
right?
I remember the meat market on this corner.
Mm.
You know, I remember the Good Timers board right there where that open lot is right there.
Yeah.
You know, that they take what's there and they give it to the world. And after being related to the culture like I am, I mean, a lot of people call DJ Urban and Chuck the godfathers of the Christ music.
Yeah.
Urban.
DJ Urban, 1993. You heard me. That was boot up or shut up.
Yeah. Where they at? You know, but musicians always help musicians.
Yes. Yeah.
Even all the walls they have, east against the west or south, very south. But no limit showed you they were full.
That's right.
Make no difference what you did, how you did it. You can do this here. You know what I mean? We're gonna make sure that you come out here well.
Yeah.
We're not here to hurt you, we're not here to take you, we're not even here to provide you.
I say, shout out to Master P.
That's it.
Yeah, Mama Mia X. We give you props.
Yes.
Ain't no limit.
And basically, they taught everybody how the game was played. Most people don't tell you the game.
All right.
The game is to be told, not shown. Yeah. But we here in the city of Nola, we're gonna take it to another level.
Yeah, we get to take it to another level. So
we're gonna show you something nobody else can show you.
That's right.
With your mother, and that's the love.
Say it again.
I said, we're gonna show you something that only your mother used to show you, and that's the love.
I say. So we're gonna step back right here in our view. So I want you to tell me, What's your Nola by nature story? Like, what makes you so Nola by nature?
I guess my upbringing. You know, I didn't have the luxury of running to the country. I had grandparents. So, you know, you're going from one end of the city to the other end of the city. You're a child. You must adjust. You know, you must find friends because you're going to be here for the summer. You're going to be down here for the summer. You're going to be by your aunt. You're going to be someplace. You know, and I can remember at the age of maybe about 9, 10 years old, I seen my first jazz funeral at Calvary Spiritual Church. Church, but Reverend Romanek at the corner of Trinity, the St. Clair. Right down the street is what they call the old Caledonia. You know? But I've seen many funerals. This particular funeral here was one I have never had seen before. And I told my older brother, I said, because we was peeping around watching the people anyway. I said, boy, if I had a camera out, let me shoot some of this here. He said, man, we got to get you one. And lo and behold, that's what we did. And I started shooting at early, but I never shot what I wanted to shoot. I shot what I could shoot. Because I wasn't old enough at the time, just me running these streets, as I said, you know. So when I did stop shooting Chinese, jumped off the boat, I started making it happen. And just by, I guess, being in the culture by playing music, playing guitar, 7 years. Took lessons for 7 years, I think.
I say.
You know, and every band I got in, they said, well, Keller, do you know the words of the song? So I found myself singing more than I was playing.
I say.
So, and after a while, you know, as they say, life happened, school, and there was a war going on. The sausage didn't. They came back. You know, they didn't leave. They cut their eye teeth with sausages at Jazz and Heritage Foundation, and they haven't looked back since. But now they're back. Corpus Christian Church is back. You know, a couple of lounges and things down St. Nola came back. But the culture, the Indian, 7 Ward Honey, Bullets Mine, it's a man, Miss Seals Lounge. So that's some of the social hubs where you can when you walk in your family, you're not a stranger.
I say.
You know, and a lot of that is natural in New Orleans. You know, I don't think New Orleans people they can't say they've never met a person like this before because we have all kind of people. You know? And like I tell people, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
But fear not, there are more of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And the children are basically they are living up to their potential because they're being schooled with the knowledge of what happened in the past and hoping that they can change the future.
I said, I'm about to stay in agreement with you that it will. And to give thanks. I know everyone's like, where is he? So we're gonna go back in so they can, and they want to talk to you. Want to thank you so much for giving your time.
Art life. So let's take a moment to I share to everyone that's alive,
I say,
everyone that's listening, that has eyes that can see, and ears that can hear. Because everybody don't have those senses. So I'm thankful and I want to slow down so that we can all take advantage and be thankful in this moment. And we all alive.
Yes.
And we above ground.
Yes.
And we always say homage to the ones before us as well as the future. So I pay honor to you, brother. Been grateful and honor to having allowing me in your space. Hey, I couldn't, I provide you this time. Also, we have to just be still. Listen. I know. I was like, why you want I didn't know they started.
well, to make it more historical, I don't think we can. Because have y'all met yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, when we first came in.
Yeah, I did that for yeah.
Tell the world where you're from,
Yeah.
all the way from across the continent. Come on.
Saying where you're from.
Saying where y'all from?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all came a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
The change has come. Your change has come. You made it.
By divine order to the Nola.
Ashay, I just got a whole new Australian word that I'm taking back, Ashay.
I say yes. I say. I say. I say. Let's come back around here. Let's swing over here, y'all.
Well, Richard, being the man.
Right.
That shirt is like in Australia, we used to have
All right.
rubbing something like that.
Okay, right here. Now, what makes y'all so Nola by nature? Oh,
He's a man.
yes.
We're all Nola by nature because of the ones that came before us and are still here. And have trailblazed the path for us to set foot on and see and be wise enough to pay attention and slow it down.
Ashe.
To see and to hear and to listen.
Absolutely. We give thanks. Now, everyone, y'all come squeeze in really quick before we end.
More friends, Mr. Richard?
Yeah.
Your wife just said you know everybody. That's it.
Yeah.
This is the president of the National 𝕼𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕚 Chapel.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Come and get this picture.
Yes.
Yes, come on. Come on, you gotta get
Okay, thank you. I'd like to get that picture of Deborah for two guys first.
And go on, just send over that.
Yeah. Ma'am, dear First Lady, we had to get you in here as well.
First lady.
First Lady.
Darlings.
That's right.
All right, now you can take your mask off momentarily. First lady, take your mask off momentarily.
Nah, it's a man.
No, I mean just off of her
Yeah,
chin.
yeah.
There we go.
That's a sugar.
Oh, I'm supposed to be taking
That's a sugar.
beautiful.
I can tell that's a whole lot of love for now. All right.
All right. Make sure we get it on and where you guys supposed to come together. Say it one more time so the folks in the back.
Australia.
Australia's in the house at Cabo. And Trinidad and Tobago. Yay! Mona, get in. One more time. Mona, get in. Da-da-da. First Lady Nola, 𝕼𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕚, get in there, please. Thank you. We love it. Yeah. Calypso on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. We love it. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. This has been a true 𝕼𝕚𝕚𝕚 moment. I have
with Stephanie and Vincent, Doc, and Mr. Richard.
Yeah, absolutely.
The three,
it wouldn't have happened.
the three of y'all made this.
Right. Was he gonna be like, I wanted to get Stephanie up here. Get your wine down. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Teacher.
Yeah, retired.
Stay fun. I still substitute teaching. Yeah.
I always say, well, you never retired because once you're an educator, you are always here.
I just love your look. I gotta get your picture.
Thank you. Yes. At 5 o'clock. It's gonna be great. Oh, I can hear it. Yeah. All right, my picture is good.
Somebody here takes doubles.
I got you.
I have to still come back here.
Thank you. It's happy to have you in the space, and
I'm happy to be here.
thank you. Yes. Queen Stephanie, I want to get your closing thoughts before we close out this live. Yeah. On this exhibition, on the start of K20 this week, as it's taken off. I know it's filling, it's probably overwhelming at some point, hearing the stories and seeing the pictures telling the story.
I couldn't think of a better way to start. Because I think like this project and Mr. Richard in particular, it's just so sweet, so humble. And really just wanted a space to tell his story, photograph it. And so I couldn't think of a better way to start it off than with this. Started off like really simple. It's like I put my camera out, documented, but there's stories on the inside, and that documentation is like so important. Could be gathered in the 7th floor. There's so much happened where there's so much history. We celebrate that with more culture.
Yeah.
Seeing spitting, seeing culture, seeing in my orders. I'm really happy to be here and happy to kick off the K20 activities.
Well, you're making it a perfect world, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know, this was all made possible by Junebug and Stephanie. How did you decide to choose this as your celebration?
I did not. I didn't. Oh, really? A community fund. So money came out of the community fund. I personally, because of Richard, I just personally wanted to do whatever. So I donated some that I donated. Your help was to get this stuff free. That was a simple ask. And so, sometimes people have little things. It's not even that much. And I was happy to do what I could to help them. That and it's right now.
It tells a beautiful story. Right there. But then how I took stepping up to the challenges that we face along this journey, going onward to our best selves and becoming better people, doing better things, giving more of our time, and being the human being and spirit that we were destined to be.
Sashay. Thank
I say, thank you.
Thank you very much. The first question, thank you for
All right, ladies. So we know that that's a wrap. We give thanks, document it's Easter now. And I hope that you're able to take what happened here and apply it into some aspect of your life and remembering the survivors and those who perished in the storm and giving breath to that in this lifetime, this time, 20 years later. Many thanks, many blessings, and peace, love, and joy, and more ashe for our community. El amor, el apoyo,